Greetings to all. This is Ranjini, working as an assistant professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering at the RMDEC College of Engineering. In this video, we can see about the constructor in C++. A constructor is a special function. Why do we call it as a special function? Is here the class name and the constructor name will be same. But normally for a member function, the class name and the constructor name will not be same. It will be different. But if the class name and the function name is same, the compiler will assume automatically it as a constructor. We mainly use a constructor to initialize a value for a data member. The constructor is invoked at the time of object creation. Normally, how do we invoke a member function? Is once after creating an object, we will call the member function using the object. So here, but if you create an object itself, the constructor will automatically invoke. We don't need to call it separately. But for an object, we can call only one constructor. We cannot call multiple constructor for a single object. But normal member function, we can call multiple times. A single object can call a function multiple number of times. But in case of a constructor, one object can call only one constructor. If you want to call that constructor again, means we have to create a new object, and once after creating an object itself, the constructor will be called. So there are the constructor will not have any return type. There are three types of constructor: default constructor, parameterized constructor, and copy constructor. First one is a default constructor. Default constructor is a constructor that has no parameter. It does not have any argument. A syntax is class demo, and the next one is a demo. Since the class function name and the class name are same, so we call it as a constructor. Here we are not giving any return type as int, void, float, or else. Since the constructor does not carry any return type, then it will be the body of the constructor, and I'm closing the class. Let's see a simple program for using a default constructor. So I have created a class demo, and into the class demo what we have a private access. We are giving a access specifier as private, and I'm assigning 3 data member. So one more point is there, the constructor should comes under the public access specifier only. So I'm creating a public access specifier, and I'm creating a constructor. Into the constructor, what am I doing is I'm assigning a value for A is 10 and B will be equal to 67. Normal member function void display. Into the normal member function, I'm just adding C equal to A plus B. So I'm displaying it out, C out, sum is C, displaying the value of C. So let's see in the main function. Into the main function, what I'm calling a constructor, I mean creating an object. In here, in the entire main function, in any point, I haven't called a constructor separately. Why? Because if I create a constructor itself, class object itself, this point itself, the constructor will be called automatically. Okay, so what happens over here is at this point itself, I've just created a demo. That is, I've just created an object. So object where it will automatically, it will move into the constructor, and constructor will be called automatically. So we don't need to call a constructor separately. The next one is s.display of the, I'm calling a user-defined member function. Member function. The compiler will call a member function. So output will be default. So why the first default constructor is printing, since I'm calling demo s. So what happens? Automatically the compiler move on to the constructor. Into the constructor, I'm writing a normal cout statement. So that first the normal cout statement default constructor is printed, and then only we will move on to the next line, s.display of. So automatically s.display. So automatically what happens, into the user member function, we will move on to the member function. Here C is equal to A plus B. So A and B plus A plus B will be added, and it finally the result sum is C will be printed. So let's execute one simple program, then it will be more easy for us to understand. So class let me create class A. Into the class A, I'm assigning 3 member function, data member. Here I haven't given any access specifier. If I didn't give any access specifier, means automatically the compiler will assume that as a private data member. Next is I'm creating a constructor. Since it's a default constructor, I'm not passing any argument into the constructor. So here what I'm doing, I'm assuming the value for A is 98 and B is 87. Okay. Now let me write one user-defined function, void display of. So into the display, C is equal to A plus B. I'm adding C is equal to A plus B, C out. Sum is equal to giving us C. So let me move into the main function. Into the main function, what I'm doing is I'm creating an object A1. Let me give an object name as A1. For here, now let me execute let's execute this program now. Yeah, here we have to add using namespace. Now, yeah, haven't closed the class also. Class should end with a semicolon. So nothing is displayed. So let me write one cout statement here, then it will be more clear. I'm giving us hi. So now hi is displaying. Why so? Because I haven't called anything. I've just created an object over here. I haven't called anything. So here at this point itself, what happens? The compiler will move on to line number 7. Why so? Because I have created an object. So what does it mean? What the constructor is invoked. So this point is invoked. Into this point, what I'm giving, I'm just printing one statement. Hi, I'm assigning a value. So this hi is printed over here. Now let me call the user defined function display of. So now let me execute a program. So hi, first why hi is printing? We all know I'm just creating an object, so automatically the constructor will be invoked, and into the constructor are printed hi. The next I'm calling a1.display of. So a1.display of is called, and C is equal to A plus C and A plus B. A plus B is added and stored into C, and finally I'm printing C. So this is why we call it as a default constructor. Why do we call it as a default constructor? Is the constructor the arguments will not have any parameter. It doesn't have any parameters. And also here one more point, main point is if you create an object itself, the constructor will be invoked. You don't need to invoke it or call it separately. Automatically, it will be invoked. This is called as a default constructor. Okay, the copy constructor and the parameters constructor we can see in the next video. Thank you for watching.